All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 9th Annual Silicon Couloir Pitch Day, brought to you in partnership with our event sponsors, the Wyoming Business Council, Pirate Ship, and First Republic Bank. We're super excited, and of course this year it's a little bit different for all of us because of COVID. And so while the audience is virtual, we'll get the presenters will still get the experience in presenting in front of a live panel here tonight, and I think you'll find out it's going to be really fun. Next up, I just want to tell you a little bit about Silicon Couloir and who we are and what our mission and values are. Silicon Couloir is a 501c3 nonprofit, and our goal is to help entrepreneurship in the Tetons and Idaho region. That means Western Wyoming and Eastern Idaho. We've got a world-class program for you here tonight. We've got 5 entrepreneurs that have worked really hard on their ventures tonight. But before we get to the main event, those 5 entrepreneurs and their ventures, I just have a couple of announcements that I want to make. First off, the audience is going to be able to get to vote. So tonight, the audience will vote on a winner for the Audience Choice Award. And we've put together a digital program for you that's on our website at www.siliconcouloir.com. So you've got executive summaries there, and you can find out about the entrepreneurs themselves and who the judges are as well, and all sorts of things like that. Again, you'll also be able to vote via text on the presentation, so pay attention. We won't show you how to vote via text until all of the presenters are done. We want to make sure you've seen everybody so we can get a fair vote going. And finally, normally we would have an event afterwards where everybody could mingle in the audience with our entrepreneurs. But tonight we can't do that. So if you're interested in contacting any of these amazing entrepreneurs about their ventures, you can contact them directly. They'll have information up on the screen. Or you can get in touch with us at hello@siliconcouloir.com, and we'll facilitate setting up a meeting with you, with them via Zoom, virtually, or however we can do that. And so now, though, we've got a couple of little breaks in between. We want to show you some really interesting, cool things that we're doing. So right now, without further ado, let's enjoy a short introductory video about Pitch Day.
Pitch Day is a tremendous opportunity for those who are chosen to participate.
It's fantastic. It is just like Shark Tank, but Teton style.
Pitch Day is really meant to give companies a great opportunity to find mentors, potential investors, team members, and really also we look to it as to be inspiring to the rest of the community.
So we have a slew of entrepreneurs that we refined down to just 6 finalists. And then we really groom and help and support those finalists in everything from their business model to their pitch message. Really think about their go-to-market strategy. So by the time they come to Pitch Day on September 30th, they have a honed presentation for investors.
One of the characteristics that we look for in businesses that are seeking to establish themselves here is the opportunities for employment locally that they might give. And that is critical, of course, for the sustainability and future of the town of Jackson and, of course, for our wider region.
I think if you're an entrepreneur and are thinking about sharing an idea and you're kind of on the fence, I say go in that yellow zone. Like, go to where you're uncomfortable and also know that you're going to be supported.
This is just a great opportunity to really stand tall in your CEO shoes and let other people who have been investors, been mentors, run companies, give you feedback, get to know you as a CEO.
You're going to get help, you're going to get coached, you're going to get refinement. You're going to make some mistakes while it's on paper before you're actually spending money. So let's go do that together.
It gives you a tremendous opportunity to practice your presentation skills, it gives you the opportunity to expose yourself to a wide audience, and it gives you the opportunity to perhaps unearth people who may even be interested eventually in investing in your company. So don't hesitate. Join in.
Hello, I'm Jenny Hutchinson Canningator. I am so glad that you are joining us for Pitch Day. I'm a board member and I'm also a trustee. And it's just delightful that Gary Tronner, our executive director, just introduced Pitch Day for us all. Thank you for being here. I am delighted to be able to talk and enjoy the panelists that we have today. My gosh, you are so accomplished. First of all, I want to introduce Dr. Nada Jain. She is a scientist. She's also an IP lawyer. She has been involved with so many venture capitalist companies, and she's even been an angel investor herself. We're so lucky to have you here. And you are starting your own venture, I understand. So you have Ride 4 Ventures, which is right here in Wyoming, that's going to be helping Wyoming businesses, and particularly in the biosciences, come here to Wyoming and be invested. So thank you, Nada. Jeff Rice, hello, dear friend of mine. Jeff has been here for 28 years in the Valley. And I really enjoyed the story that Jeff came here as a young man, and he was selling tickets at Jackson Hole Mountain Resort. But, of course, he decided to use his talents and his skills to become an entrepreneur. He was somebody that was in the ISP business, as I understand. He was a co-founder. He sold that business very successfully, and we are lucky to have Jeff now with his company, Jackson Hole Grocer, really being on the front lines here for our Valley. It's a place where people gather, have great food, and are supported by 140 employees strong. So thank you, Jeff. Karen, hello. Thank you for being part of our community. I was so delighted to look at your background, and I've learned that you started out in mathematics and computer science as your undergrad. You went on to get your MBA, and then had a long-standing career at AT&T and Lucent Technologies. Wow. So a corporate executive herself. She now is here in the Valley, and she and her family are stewards of our environment. They're owners of the Jackson Hole Mountain Resort, which we're so delighted to have. And I think we all agree that that is the #1 resort in North America. So thank you, Karen. Blake, welcome. You're newer to our Valley, so thanks so much for deciding to call Jackson home. I understand you have started with a small little company. You're a serial entrepreneur, also a social venturist yourself. But Blake had a small little company. People call you Tom, don't they? Called Tom Shoes. And thanks to your entrepreneurialism and social entrepreneurialism, that now we have, I've heard you and your team have donated 96 million shoes across the world. So thank you for that one-to-one model. We have kind of a news break for you. I just heard that Blake is on the real Shark Tank. He just had his episode filmed and is going to be showing this fall. So thank you, Blake, for being here, your social entrepreneurism, and we look forward to the panelists. So without further ado, let's just tell you a little bit more about not only Pitch Day, but Silicon Couloir. It's really quite a gem in our community as a nonprofit. So let's get a glimpse.
My name's Gary Trauner, and I'm the executive director of Silicon Couloir. That's a 501c3 nonprofit that supports and promotes entrepreneurship in the Idaho region through programming.
My name's Jenny Hutchinson. I'm a board member, and also I'm a trustee for Silicon Couloir.
So we all know that Jackson, or most of us know that Jackson's a tourism and hospitality-based economy, and probably always will be. We've got the national parks right down the road. But a lot of the jobs are seasonal. They don't pay really well. They may not include benefits. And that's great. There's lots of people here that are happy to do that and play outside, and I was there once and it was a great thing. But we want to maintain that thriving middle class, and the best way to do it, we think, is to create well-paying jobs through entrepreneurship and companies that can scale beyond the valley.
Boy, entrepreneurship is really important in the Idaho region. It's where I'm putting my heart and soul in helping entrepreneurs. We need your hard work and your inspiration.
Silicon Couloir has a range of programs. We want to have a program for anywhere you are in your entrepreneurial journey. We don't want to have any programs that people can't afford to be part of, so we're pretty much all free. We've got boot camp, startup intensive, entrepreneurship essential education programs for sort of newer entrepreneurs. We've got a mentor program we've licensed from MIT that has volunteer mentors that help entrepreneurs in their ventures. We've got Pitch Day, which helps people to present and find investors and advisors. We really have this whole spectrum of programs where we help people to succeed as entrepreneurs. We also want to make the entrepreneurs better at what they do and more prepared so that if they go for a second or third round at something, they'll have a better chance of success.
We need sustainable jobs, living wages, housing for everyone. And we all know that kind of that bedrock is through entrepreneurialism as well as small business.
We want to support companies that have the ability to grow exponentially beyond, because we think that gives people the opportunity to build bigger and better things.
And now for the reason why we're all here. These entrepreneurs have been doing such a great job and hard work, and I'm so proud to introduce our very first finalist, Nikki Beck with Indio.
Let's take a minute. Think back to when you were a child. Do you remember playing on the monkey bars, being suspended in the air, and completely carefree, and afterwards feeling like you could accomplish anything? Today, we are overly stressed, are constantly sitting, and rarely make time to clear our mind and move our body. This overwhelming situation has only been magnified by the global pandemic, which is becoming our new normal. Introducing Indio, your online aerial movement platform. Think Yoga Today or Peloton, but for aerials. Aerials is unique within the fitness industry. You not only build strength and flexibility, but it sparks creativity and freedom within the body. It is also used by athletes, physical therapists, and aerial professionals to help avoid injuries and be able to allow the body to move freely. The aerial hammock is one piece of equipment that's easy to install and costs between $100 and $150. This allows us to create an endless amount of classes with a variety of focuses: yoga, Pilates, meditation, spinal decompression, and stress relief. Indio has a complete library of on-demand beginner through advanced classes, workshops, a community room where you can meet like-minded individuals, and a store to purchase aerial movement manuals. If you're asking yourself, what is aerial yoga or aerial movement? Let me show you. I'm Nikki Beck, the founder and creative director of Indio. I have spent the last 10 years rehabilitating professional athletes and studying under some of the brightest minds, to include the Dalai Lama and Cirque du Soleil trainers. I'm an aerial, Pilates, and yoga instructor, as well as a digital designer that is incredibly passionate about creating a positive change. Indio, weird name, huh? It means yes in Swahili, and we are excited to inspire you to say yes to new possibilities and new experiences, both in and out of your hammock. Aerial yoga is ranked at number 6 out of 20 different types of yoga practice in the United States in 2020. That means 5 million people are practicing aerial yoga, creating a $1 billion industry just in the US, and 71% of that revenue is in classes. And after extensive research, it's not just Americans that love aerial movement. It's also popular internationally. Who is going to join our classes? Well, our initial target market is individuals that have an at-home aerial hammock setup and have taken in-person classes from studios across the country. There's thousands of them. And as of August 1st of this year, the aerial hammocks that are used for at-home practice were sold out, according to a US-based rigging company. The at-home fitness trend was accelerated by COVID, but 9 out of 10 individuals still say they'll have an at-home workout practice, even though they feel comfortable going back to the gym. I have helped big brands connect with their clients through their user experience and their customer journey. And that insight will allow me to build a brand and an experience that resonates with our target market. Our goal is to do a soft launch in November and a hard launch January 1st. So there's 3 core components to our go-to-market strategy. The first being our partnerships. We have partnered with an aerial rigging company that is expanding as we speak to keep up with the high demand. sponsors that already have a name and a brand built within the industry to share our message, educational resources for teacher training programs, and our most important is nonprofits that are going to inspire kids to get out and try something new and get out of their comfort zone. Secondly, we will look to work closely with our instructors as well as our social influencers. These men and women are established within the community and are excited to spread the word of how much they love to practice with Indio. And thirdly, we will use digital marketing campaigns through different social media platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and have a strong SEO strategy so we can be on top of Google searches. Our initial idea is to focus on those that already are familiar with aerials, but soon after, we're going to introduce aerials to the rest of the world and hope you will join us. Our pricing model is simple. Our online platform offers users either a monthly subscription of $18 a month or a yearly subscription of $156 a year, which drops the monthly price to $13 a month to show gratitude for those that commit to the entire year. During our initial launch, we won't be offering live stream classes yet, but once we're ready, they will be a $10 drop-in fee, and our members can pick and choose which classes they would like to attend. Our collection of print aerial manuals range from $41 to $155 and offer something for everyone. These manuals are print on demand as well as drop ship. We don't have to carry inventory or worry about shipping while still acquiring a high profit margin. There are a handful of other aerial companies and studios that are providing their clients with online aerial resources, but none of them have created a simple-to-use, streamlined platform that has professionally crafted content to keep their users feeling inspired and motivated on their wellness journey. It's simple. Purchase your equipment from one of our partners. Then, go ahead and choose the monthly or yearly subscription and instantly receive access to hundreds of on-demand videos. To complete that practice, pick up one of our print manuals. Our first year will be focusing on the online platform's membership. We base our numbers on a subscription growth curve, and that will consider additions and subtractions of members. Moving forward, we will add new instructors, which will increase our production costs, but will allow us to access those instructors' networks of in-person and online followers, and will keep our current members feeling inspired by a diversified platform, and then bring in new members as well. If we capture 1% of the US market, that means we have the potential to grow into a $7.1 million company. I am thrilled to continue to grow the Indio team. I'm looking forward to hire local aerial instructors, creatives, marketing gurus, physical therapists, as well as production assistants. We're excited to help you press pause on your adult life, if only for a moment, to move freely with your breath, without fear and without judgment, like a carefree child. I hope you can see that I have the movement expertise, as well as the creative and technical skills that's needed to bring Indio to homes around the world. And I thank you so much for your time. Does anyone have any
Your
questions?
business has got a box to ship. Maybe lots of boxes. Pirate ship can save you up to 90.
A question here.
Yes, please.
Couple of questions, if I may. One is, how much diversity in your content do you think you need to have? In other words, how many classes do you think you need to have recorded in order to keep the, to first capture and then keep your audience?
Yes, of course. So initially, we won't have as big of a diverse platform, which will allow us to kind of figure out what our members are really in search of. But to be able to offer some strength and conditioning, as well as some restorative and stretching, and most importantly, spinal decompression, will help kind of gather those people to be excited to have it, because it's one piece of equipment that's really diverse, when a lot of times we need a whole lot of different equipment to acquire that kind of diversity within our own physical practice. So as we build and grow and get to know our members better, then we'll be able to expand our repertoire of classes.
And second question, is there a way to protect the content without being pirated by these 1,000 studios that are, throughout the country?
So we're hoping that our online platform that we're using has a really great system to hopefully not pirate, but anyone can obviously take an iPhone and take photos of that. But hopefully the good nature of people won't. As far as the other studios go, they are putting out content, and right now it's just not professionally done and shot because they have a lot of other overhead expenses, like keeping their studio doors open, and their platforms aren't easy to use. It's a lot of purchase this and you get these products, or this place you get these products, and it's kind of all over instead of one simple monthly fee where you get access to everything. So that's where we're going to differentiate ourselves from the rest of the studio spaces. You're welcome, thank you.
I have a question. How many members do you need to be breaking even on a cash flow basis each month?
To break even?
Yeah.
100.
100.
Yeah. Our overhead's really low. Our initial startup is what is higher.
Yeah.
And then we have a really low monthly overhead just to break even as we go.
Nikki, you mentioned that you have a library of classes and manuals and other support. How much does that cost on an ongoing basis to continue to provide additional classes, and what segment of what you anticipate your revenue to be do you think those costs are going to be?
Yes, of course. So the manuals are going to be print on demand and drop ship. So if you order a manual, the company that we use to print it, they print it and we'll ship it the next day. So for us, we're not carrying any inventory, which works out really well. As far as producing new classes, it's the production cost that is going to be the highest. So being able to hire instructors and have the studio space. Right now I have one rented for a few months just to get the initial classes going, but that's where we're going to see some of the higher cost problems as we go. But the software that we're using and how we're building the platform is a relatively low monthly overhead, and it has an abundance of features that come with it. And it is also scalable. So when we start, we'll be able to do our desktop, tablet, mobile, and then once we gather new members, then we'll be able to scale it to iOS and Android. And then if people love that and they keep coming, then we can scale it even bigger and push it out to TV apps. So Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick.
And how many classes do you have in your inventory for your launch?
As of today, I have 78 classes filmed, and we're getting them ready to go. We have an editor that's working on them.
So, Nikki, you mentioned in here your team.
Yeah.
Where are you in the process of building your team?
So the funding that we are looking to receive will help really scale the team. Right now I have a couple individuals, but they're not working at the pace that I would like them to because I don't have the funding for it to push it forward. But I have 5 of them right now that I'm working with, both on the production, creative, physical therapist kind of avenues.
Just to clarify, I don't think that math works. 100 members at $18 a month would only be $1,800 a month in revenue.
Oh, on a subscription growth curve, 100 new members a month.
100 new members
New
a
members
month.
a month.
So
yeah,
how
not
many
just 100 members a month.
So
no.
So how many do you need to get to when you're breaking even? Like, yeah, like what's the total numbers? Like, so like if I have 1,000 members, we're cash flow positive, or is it 2,000 or 10,000?
655 members will bring us to a
cash flow break.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
after that, it's profit.
650. That's the 100.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
Yes, of course. Thank you for clarifying that. Sorry, I was not more clear.
That's all good.
Yeah, one more question, if I may. Have you considered a potential licensing model to these 1,000 studios? I'm just wondering if there is a way to go to them and, you offer the goods that they don't have to develop, but at the same time, you loop them into this venture so they don't have to either recreate this on their own or pirate what you already have. Is there a licensing business model here that might be worth exploring?
There is. I haven't actually thought about that, but that's a really great point, and I look forward to looking into that more, so thank you. I think that's a wonderful idea.
And Nikki, I'm just trying to get a sense of how big the market is. This isn't something that I've heard of previously. I'm wondering,
Super fun.
Okay, Blake has done it.
I've done it, yeah. Super fun.
Great.
I'm wondering, like, how many of the big gyms around the country and, you know, like the East Bank Club in Chicago or whatever they may be, are actually holding classes in this arena?
To be honest, I don't know the exact number of how many studios are holding them, but yes, it is thousands. And to give you a better idea for a gym, something large like Equinox that's in a larger metropolitan area. So the TRX mounts, the little cross-silver TRX mounts that they perform massive amounts of TRX classes, you can use those mounts to then hang the aerial silks. So for them, if you're going to install something along those lines, you may as well allow it to be cross-functional between TRX and then adapting the aerial silks to it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, everybody. So next up, while we get ready for the transition to our next finalist, we are a nonprofit, so we do rely on contributions and sponsors. And so we want to show you a quick video from a company that's a homegrown company raised right here in Jackson, Wyoming, that operates nationally and I think worldwide, and has been incredibly successful. So. And a little bit different, so pay attention to Pirate Ship. Thank you.
Your business has got a box to ship. Maybe lots of boxes. Pirate Ship can save you up to 90% off the Postal Service's shipping rates. The deepest discounts available. Just print the USPS approved postage with any printer and skip the line at the post office. Or they'll even pick it up for free. Small businesses deserve the cheapest shipping rates. That's why Pirate Ship is free. There's no fees or hidden costs, so you'll save tons of treasure. I said tons of treasure! So what are you waiting for, matey? Create a free account and make your shipping cheaper!
Like I said, a little bit different, but they've been incredibly successful, and we're proud that the principals were homegrown and born and raised here in Teton County, Wyoming. And now I'm proud to introduce our second finalist, David Limburn with Go Green Home Supply.
Okay, thank you.
Go get him, Dave.
Everybody. We all know that single-use plastics are horrible for the environment. They are the #1 contributor to global waste. But do you know what the second largest contributor is? Construction waste. Many traditional residential building materials are non-natural, are plastic-based, or are filled with toxic chemicals and glues. Research is finding that they pose a variety of health concerns. These non-recyclable, non-decomposable materials will never fully break down and are a significant contributor to the pollution of our planet. This is why I started Go Green Home Supply. I'm David Limburn, the founder and CEO of Go Green Home Supply. I saw these types of red flags firsthand during my several years in the construction industry. As an engineer, I knew the best way to fix the problem was to focus on building homes with better materials from the start. Because whether we like to think about it or not, the homes we live in will someday look just like the one in this photo. 600,000 homes in the US will be demolished in the next 12 months, with many of those materials ending up in landfills, or worse yet, polluting our ecosystems and water supplies. Eco-friendly building materials and finishes are available, though current supply chains don't make it easy for homeowners to find or purchase those products. Mainstream retailers may not carry green materials, or they are just too expensive after layers of distributor markups. To add more problems, many traditional residential building materials are promoted in misleading ways, a term known as greenwashing, leaving homeowners to try to determine whether a product is good or bad. What follows is just a general lack of understanding among homeowners about what they can do to be better, even though the decisions they make today are important with respect to their family's health and the health of the planet. The good news is that building a better home with better products is possible. Go Green Home Supply will connect homeowners who are building or renovating their homes to the most eco-friendly building materials. We are a one-stop shop retail website where homeowners can learn about their green material options and then purchase those products directly from our online store. Our goal is to provide educational resources to homeowners so that they are better informed and feel confident that they are making green decisions. We want them to feel that buying green materials to make a greener home is a reasonable and approachable change. All of the products we sell will be thoroughly vetted by our expert product team, ensuring that they will be eco-friendly. This eliminates any confusion for the homeowner. For example, in place of vinyl laminated flooring, we would recommend using sustainable cork or natural bamboo hardwoods. Sheep's wool insulation is actually a great natural alternative to harmful pink fiberglass insulation. Making your home more green doesn't mean giving up modern amenities. By compiling multiple products from multiple partner manufacturers in one spot, we are making the buying process easier for homeowners. They can find what they need in our online shop without ever having to search through an old-fashioned hardware store. After all, that is the way of the modern shopper, looking for an online experience made simple. We are initially focused on meeting the needs of the eco-warriors and health gurus, homeowners predisposed to going green and making healthy decisions for their lifestyles. Someone who's already adopted other green options in their lives, perhaps it's been a significant reduction in plastics from their kitchen or the conscious choice to drive a hybrid. These customers put family and planet first and are always looking for ways to be better in their daily lives. A home of all places should be a healthy, safe space, one that homeowners can feel good about for years to come. Like many other modern retail business models, eliminating layers from the supply chain is a part of how we will bring change to the natural building, for the way natural building materials go to market. The excess cost associated with building a green home is generally due to the products going through multiple parties or warehouses before ever reaching the consumer. We are eliminating this, making green materials more affordable. We are not a wholesale distributor. We don't hold inventory, there is no warehouse, and our overhead is low. Our standard fee is 10% on every transaction. By doing this, going green becomes more accessible to the masses as layers of markups don't make these products cost prohibitive. We'll also save customers time by having all of these eco-friendly products in one spot. They won't have to search all over to find them. People are asking for more natural products in their daily lives than ever before. And with recent studies showing people are spending 90% of their time indoors, using healthier materials in homes should be a no-brainer. Bringing social awareness to the risks associated with the traditional products being used today through a modern approach and marketing will be instrumental to our brand as we look to spread our cause to new customers and grow as a company. The market opportunity for an online, eco-friendly retailer of natural building materials is significant. In total, the residential building materials market is estimated at $500 billion today. Green building materials make up about 20% of that already. Although a large number, it shows that there is still a real opportunity for growth. Also, we know that about 10% of big box competitors' traditional building material products are already sold through online channels. We know that people are buying products online, they're just not buying the natural products they could or should be. Conservative projections estimate $3.5 million in sales for Go Green Home Supply in 2021. This past week, we successfully launched our website and social media pages. This was a fully branded multi-platform launch. The website will start by providing basic educational content and help us build credibility in the space. SEO optimization and social engagement will be the focus over the next several weeks. Frameworks for manufacturing partnerships have already been laid out, with the goal of having our initial product set finalized and our e-commerce store launched by early December 2020. We'll use the next several months to continue producing educational material and adding products to our online shop before rolling out a social media campaign on Earth Day, April 22nd, 2021. My wife and I started this company because we looked at our own habits upon the birth of our daughter. It became even more important to us to use natural, durable, sustainable materials wherever possible, especially after hearing of recent problems in our home state of Minnesota, where chemical runoff from construction waste has contaminated almost 80% of groundwater supplies. Being someone who loves the mountains, the beauty of the outdoors, and calls them home, I want to preserve these types of places. I'm tired of seeing excess waste where there doesn't need to be. I really do believe that my passion for nature and technical skills will help bring homeowners together with the best natural products available for their homes. If many people make small changes to their homes, together it will make a big impact. It's said that within the next 3 years, 25 million home renovation projects will take place in the US. Wouldn't it be amazing if we connected all of these people to eco-friendly building materials for the betterment of the world? The products are out there. Our mission is to supply homeowners with the knowledge and the building materials to make their homes as natural as possible for their health and the health of the planet. Go Green Home Supply. Plan well, build well, be well. Thank you.
David, you've identified a really important market and obviously a growing market. I know there are a number of companies online already selling green building supplies and products. How are you going to be differentiated, and how are you going to eliminate what you described as these multiple markups in the distribution channel that are causing the prices to be more inflated than potentially the willingness to pay?
Yeah, so great question. Kind of a couple answers to that. So number one, with respect to the players already in the industry doing kind of what we're doing today, or wanting to do, or what we want to do today, those people who are out there in the marketplace selling green materials aren't necessarily 100% focused on strictly eco-friendly materials. If you go and search their websites, you'll actually find that they still offer things like the fiberglass insulation I alluded to, or spray foam insulation, which is horrible for the environment. It's not a totally tailored product set, so there is still some confusion about what they're offering, even though their brand might call it themselves, the green suppliers. We're going to just be, if it's not green, we're not going to carry it. And you can go get it somewhere else, and that's fine. But we're going to offer the most eco-friendly materials. So that's how we're going to differentiate ourselves, make it easier for people to sort through the products by only offering them the best, right? So that's number one. And I think we're also going to take a modern approach to marketing, right? I think our target customer really is going to be surprised by what they learn about traditional building materials. And I don't think the people that are out there doing what we want to do in the space today are doing a good enough job marketing and talking to their target customers, to be quite honest. I think there's a really big lack of knowledge and understanding in that industry.
But how are you going to do eliminate the added costs in the distribution chain that you mentioned?
Yeah, so great question. So there are manufacturers out there who want to work with retailers like myself, where we're going to go to the drop shipping model. Today, how those people are distributing their product is through the traditional channels, where there's maybe a local mom and pop distributor here locally. They may or may not place an order with that manufacturer. And if they don't carry it, sometimes the local contractors or the homeowners will never go and even know about that product. So we're going to be promoting them. We're going to be on their side, getting maybe some of these smaller manufacturers more mainstream. I think that there's a buy-in from some of the people manufacturers I've already talked to, that they're open to working with somebody like us, because it's a new model. Not everybody's doing it.
David, congratulations on your success in getting this far. I love the sustainability focus of your mission.
Yeah.
Quick question, can you clarify your target market? Are you really after the DIYer is your primary target market?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's been a question that has been asked before. I do think so, yeah, because I come from the construction world. I see the allegiances and the ingrained nature of the culture in commercial and residential construction. And I think that's part of the reason why these green materials haven't been adopted as the mainstream standard. So really having the consumers dictate what they want, right? Educating them about why this is really important and how they can make a difference will really impact the demand creation. We want to create demand for green materials. That's going to happen by going to the consumer level, doing the DIY people first, targeting them first, and then again, like I said, grow it to the masses where everybody knows about this, and it just becomes the standard.
Right. So there's nothing in your model to stitch together the homeowner who's using a contractor?
So in that situation, the homeowners could still purchase the materials and coordinate with the contractors. That the contractor's not the one supplying the materials. So today, that contractor marks up that product maybe 10, 15, 20, 25%, and that's additional cost that they're carrying through to the homeowner. So the homeowner ends up paying more. So if a homeowner can work and coordinate with their contractor, they can buy those materials from Go Green Home Supply and then say, hey, this is what I'd really like to use for our home. I've sourced it. Here's the bamboo flooring that we'd like to see in our living space. Go ahead.
All right, 2 questions. The first is if you're not holding any inventory, how does the cart work? Like if I want to order a bamboo floor and a certain kind of tile and a window, how's that gonna be a seamless experience for me as a consumer?
It's going to be a lot of coordination with the individual manufacturers, right? And so the drop shipping concept, right, just as it is with any other industry or product out there in the marketplace today, takes a lot of coordination in terms of how do we get the order to the manufacturer and get that order sent to the right person in a timely manner. So that part of it is going to be something that we're working through with each individual manufacturer, and there's certainly going to be a back and forth partnership there that we're going to need to fine tune as we get started here.
How did your competitors do that now?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure. I know that one of the competitors that I've actually talked to kind of closely, they do hold some inventory for certain things that are more difficult to source. But you know, I really think we're going to take it on a case-by-case basis and see how the partnership works. I think part of the startup process for us is going to be setting a precedent with the customer to say, you know, hey, we've got maybe a longer lead time on this, so you know we're estimating 3 to 5 weeks out, and if we can beat that, you know, that's great. But not over-promising and under-delivering to our customers, I think, will be important as we figure out, you know, how this all comes together.
But will the customer actually pay you the full price? Because you said you take a 10% commission, or are you just an affiliate model that you send them to their website?
No, we're not an affiliate model. So they're going to place the orders through us. We're going to have a shop on our own.
I'll pay the full price.
You're going to pay the full price plus our markup, technically.
I see, okay.
But there's only one markup, right? In the model that I showed on the screen, you know, there's just me between Go Green Home Supply between the manufacturer and the customer. Whereas in the past, it's going from a distributor, maybe to a local contractor, maybe to a subcontractor, and then to the consumer, which is a big problem. There's layers of markups all along that process today.
Okay. And then the last question was, what's your customer acquisition strategy in terms of like how are you going to? I know you're doing a social campaign now, but how do you see this really scaling in terms of identifying someone who is, you know, in this market, a DIYer, and being able to, you know, grow that customer base?
I think it comes back to our education. You know, I've talked to a lot of people in this process, and the most consistent feedback I've gotten is that, oh, wow, I had no idea that was a problem, or oh, wow, I had no idea that was even an option for my DIY renovation. So I think what we're going to be focusing on is that education component, and once people start to, you know, realize that we're a really good resource for that, that's going to start rolling customers into our funnel, basically, our supply of customers. Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
One more question here. I think there is a concern here, like with many other, you know, educational websites, if I may call this in some way also educational, where people come, do research on your website, and then I can talk to my general contractor. He can buy the same product from somebody else, or I can go and buy it elsewhere. So I'm wondering if there is an ad revenue model that can sort of augment your revenues through this website. Because if a lot of people are going to be coming to this website to learn about you know, eco-friendly products, I wonder if it makes sense for your companies you're going to be working with to also advertise, and that could potentially give you some additional revenue.
I think it's possible, and we're open to looking at different ways to bring revenue in, especially on our startup scenario here. You know, it's not something that we're opposed to, depending on how things go over the next several months. We've also had discussions about, you know, yes, our target customer is the DIY homeowner to start with, but at some point, do we have like an affiliate contractor partnership program where, you know, we've got highlighted contractors who are focusing on green products? That might be a way to bring in revenue as well.
David, I can tell that you're going to have people asking questions afterwards, so thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you for the questions and more to come.
Thank you, everyone.
Time goes quickly, too quickly. And now I'd like to also thank our next platinum sponsor, which is First Republic Bank. They're new to our community, have been here maybe about a year, but are based in California. They do private banking, business banking, private wealth management, so let's hear more.
First Republic Bank presents First Things First. At First Republic Bank, first refers to our first priority, the clients who walk through our doors. The first step? Recognize that every client is an individual with unique needs. First decree, be a bank whose currency is service in the form of personal banking. This was First Republic's mission from our very first day. It's still the first thing on our minds.
All right, are we ready for the third finalist? All right, let's give it up for Heather with Juliet. Thanks so much, Heather Beck.
In the audience tonight is my daughter, a product of infertility treatments and a tremendous amount of love. Like so many women, I always knew that I wanted to become a mom. But it was difficult, complicated even. And I'll never forget the moment when I finally saw those 2 pink lines appear on that pregnancy test. Because it was in that exact moment that I had become a mom. The road to motherhood can be long, filled with challenges, uncertainty, hope, and grief. It can feel lonely, like nobody truly understands what you're going through. But I do, and Juliet does too. Our first product are accurate pregnancy and ovulation tests for a community of women on our journey toward motherhood. My name is Heather Smith, and I'm the CEO and founder of Juliet. I've spent the last 11 years of my career as a lawyer and nonprofit executive, defending the rights of women. And there's one thing that is clear. Women have had enough. Women still experience stigma, shame, and judgment when purchasing female healthcare products. We're peppered with questions from our friends and family about when we're going to have a baby and why it hasn't happened yet. And comments about our biological clock are a common yet inappropriate occurrence for most women. But Juliet has designed a better, more supportive experience that women can actually enjoy. No more inconvenient trips to the grocery store, unwanted conversation, or uncomfortable run-ins. You decide when and what information to share when you're ready, and not a moment sooner. I spoke with 50 women to better understand their experience when purchasing these products. And 80% of those women said they hated the experience currently offered on the market, describing it as uncomfortable, judgmental, and sometimes downright embarrassing. Juliet is built for single women like Jess, who go to their first doctor's appointment and they don't see anyone who looks like them in the room. And for women like Monica, who are putting on a happy face the day after they just suffered their 3rd miscarriage of the year. And for women like Josie, who are watching their sister struggle with infertility and wondering, what's my journey going to look like? Even though she's not quite ready yet. That is the journey of the Juliet customer. Without the right partner, they might continue to struggle alone. But with Juliet, they can get the products they need and the support they crave in one convenient spot. Our customers don't just want a product, they want a partner. To create community, we'll host live Q&A sessions, fill our learning library up with science, and finally, we'll meet women exactly where they're at. We'll showcase stories of women who have been there with messages that say, we see you. Your tears, your anger, your shame, and your joy. And we are here for all of it. Because P.S., we also see your fierce strength. For the first time ever, there are more women in their 30s having babies than younger moms. The rise of women in leadership positions and advances in fertility treatments have led to delayed family planning decisions. The market is worth $500 million, and in 2019, 20 million pregnancy tests were sold. And finally, 6.1 million women will struggle to conceive or remain pregnant each year. The pregnancy tests on the market right now are completely out of touch with actual women. Women buy the same name brand pregnancy test not because we like the product or the company, but because it's all we've been offered. But the tide is changing and women are demanding more.
Juliet has identified a commodities market where there is extremely low customer satisfaction. The Honest Company and Dollar Shave Club use this same model to build a better experience and thriving communities, ultimately leading to $1 billion plus valuations. But pregnancy tests are not all created equal, and our team set out to source the best pregnancy test we could find on the market. The Juliet test is OBGYN approved, FDA cleared, and tells women if they are pregnant up to 5 days before their missed period with 99% accuracy. We stand by our test and offer a 100% guarantee, no questions asked. Women spend on average between $4 and $8 for each pregnancy test. And a pack of our 3 tests costs $16, or about $5 per test. 85% of women will conceive within 1 year of trying, and our customer lifetime value is $264 for 12 months. Each Juliet box is wrapped beautifully in love. And when women open up our Juliet box, they won't just see a pregnancy test. They'll see cards of affirmations that offer hope on their journey, wherever they're at, and space for them to create their own intentions. These pregnancy tests and box will arrive in their doorstep in 2 days, just like Amazon. We'll launch a targeted pilot to optimize our product to the Juliet customer. In year 1, we'll serve 55,000 customers. In year 2, 170,000. And finally, in year 3, we'll be a $7.5 million revenue company. The potential for scale is high. During those first 2 years, we are trying to capture half of a percentage of a $500 million market. But it's not just the bottom line that matters. Giving back is in our DNA. With every purchase, we donate $1 to provide prenatal health care for women that are underserved and to fund advocacy causes for women's rights across the globe. We'll focus our marketing on 3 channels: strategic partnerships with organizations whose missions align with ours, paid digital advertising to attract and retain customers, and finally, moms themselves, the women who have a platform and a voice and aren't afraid to use it. We're building a team to launch Juliet and bring it to the forefront, and I would love to talk to you more about what that could look like. Whenever my daughter asks where she came from, I tell her that I chose her, because I did. I chose to become a mom because I had more love to give. That is the essence of motherhood, giving it your all and showing up day after day, regardless of what it looks like. Juliet is built for women who will stop at nothing, for women who are tired of the status quo and who will not play by the rules of the patriarchy for a single second longer. This one is for us, the moms in the making. Thank you.
So can you talk a little bit about how you are going to be shipping this product? In other words, do you have to buy in bulk and then you package it and ship it from a single location, or is there a simpler way to go straight from the manufacturer of the product?
I'll be using a distributor that is regional, and so the reason I'm choosing this distributor is because I can offer fast 2-day shipping to most customers, because the orders will be batched to these different locations. So it gets, if you're on the East Coast, it gets you closer, to their warehouse. But they'll be doing my pick, pack, and ship for these products.
Heather, how do you? So you've. How are you really going to differentiate yourself?
Yeah.
Yes, in the market. Presumably, there's many opportunities to buy these items online. What's your real value proposition and differentiator?
Yeah, it's absolutely in the experience. So I mentioned this Juliet box that you get. It's beautiful. It's wrapped in love. It feels better. Women do not feel good when they purchase these pregnancy tests. And it's rooted in a lot of shame that we've honestly been taught since we were, the age of my daughter. And in creating an experience where they can get the product, but then they also get the support, nobody else is doing that. People are selling pregnancy tests, or you have an Instagram page and it's saying, come here for your support. But my demographic are busy women, and they like things to be packaged in one spot so they can, get on with the rest of their to-do list.
Heather, I can see that value proposition would get you customer loyalty once somebody's had your experience. But in a market where you can just go online and pick something, how are you really going to get that first-time customer to choose you?
Yeah, we are going to focus on 2 markets primarily and then expand. So the first 2 are single parents by choice who have decided to have a child on their own. And then the second are women who are experiencing secondary infertility. Those 2 markets are untouched right now. Nobody is communicating to them. Nobody is including them. They are very much on the margins of pregnancy. And those are my early adopters. And so for the next couple of months, we'll really be targeting toward them. And then broadening it up to women who are between 28 to 42, trying to conceive, perhaps having some difficulty with that. Did I answer the question?
So you mentioned partners. So what might your partners be that will help you reach those market segments?
Yeah. It's some of the obvious ones like OBGYN providers, but one of the interesting ones is IVF runs about $20,000 per attempt, and most women need 2 to 3 attempts on average to get pregnant. And so we're talking about partnering with financial institutions because a lot of people need credit to get pregnant.
Thank you.
Is the product proprietary, or have you just chosen the best one on the market and then you're shipping it? Like, is it branded Juliet pregnancy test?
It's branded Juliet pregnancy test, but I do purchase this from someone and then we ship it.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I'll have another question maybe. But
Okay.
Heather, in your numbers, if I've done my math right, it looks like you're projecting about 60,000 transactions in the first year, and by the third year you're to about 360,000. How do you get there?
So we have a subscription service that we offer, and then so there are 3 products. The subscription service includes your pregnancy test and your ovulation test, and then the other is both of those things on their own. And we've broken it down with the numbers being concentrated in that third chunk of people who will be using a subscription service and needing products. The entire idea is really that women have exactly what they need on hand for their journey, and an entire month's supply would be really nice to just have at your doorstep.
So how much of your operating budget's dedicated to marketing?
$23,000 per month in year 1.
I've got a question from one of our panelists who couldn't make it tonight. It's the magic wand. Imagine you're living in a world of unconstrained resources. What steps would you take to accelerate growth?
I would love to offer a hotline where women can talk to a fertility doctor, where they can access affordable fertility care because it is so expensive, and it can be devastational for families who want so badly to start their family and can't. So I would add a piece that was medical support for women.
Any more questions from the panels? Great. Well, thank you, Heather.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Great job. So, before we get ready again in the transition zone, I just want to step back and we have a trustee program. Again, as I mentioned in the video earlier, we're a nonprofit. And we have 3 touchstones: access for all, founding to funding, and what we call profit, people, and planet. And the idea is that no one has a roadblock because they can't afford any of our programs. So again, most of our programming is free. Founding to funding means we want to have a program for anywhere you are in your entrepreneurial journey. And that means we've got a fair amount of programs, 6 or 7 big programs right now. And then lastly, we call it Profit People Planet. We know entrepreneurs want to be successful. They have to make money in order to stay in business. But at the same time, we want to make sure that if you're taking care of your employees and your staff, and we want to make sure that we maintain a thriving middle class in our region. And at the end of the day, we use Planet as an alliterative placeholder for community because all of our companies operate and our ventures operate in a really small, tight community here in the Teton and Idaho region. It's a really special place, as people who have been here know, and we want to make sure it stays that way. So we want to have companies that are willing to give back in some way, shape, or form to the community also. And in order to do that, we need to have funding for our organization, and we've created a trustee program. And those are individuals that have stepped up and made a 3-year commitment to fund our organization at a certain level. We have super trustees and trustees. And that 3-year rolling commitment allows us to spend much less time, like most nonprofits do, on raising money and much more time on programming and actually providing the services that we want to provide and serving our community. So if anyone does want to become a trustee, you know where to get in touch with me, Gary at siliconcouloir.com, G-A-R-Y, at siliconcouloir.com. But really, most of all, we want to thank the trustees who are on the screen behind us and the super trustees because they make this all possible, and we really appreciate it. So now we're on to, I believe, our 4th contestant, and that is Caitlin Easler with Happily. So let's welcome Caitlin.
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to see all of you tonight, and I have a really important question for all of you moms and dads out there. What is one thing that makes you feel like a superhero? I pondered that for a long time myself, and for me, what makes me feel like a superhero parent is finding a new activity for my daughter and seeing the absolute joy on her face when she's conquered a new playground, she's made herself proud on a hike, or even found wonder at a children's museum. I'm Caitlin Easler, and I'm the founder of Happily. Happily is a company that inspires family adventures in your hometown and on the go, guaranteeing that every parent can feel like a superhero parent. Now, more than ever, we want to get kids and their parents off of their devices and out into the world safely. And trust me, your kids will thank you too. After spending 15 years working with private equity-backed technology companies, I'm grateful for the chance to go all in on a business that supports moms and dads while also providing a strong ROI, both for our investors and our premium sponsors. Did you know that parents spend an average of 10 hours a week of quality time with their kids? And as part of that, they regularly go to 10+ websites to figure out what to do. 10 hours, my friends. This is not a lot of time. So we want to help you make it count. I personally relied on this mommy vlog space for myself, and I really got to a point where I just wanted it to be easier. I wanted it to be faster. I wanted it to be more reliable. So for me, that's why I'm committed to making sure that it's easier for other parents and coming up with a solution so they can really engage and be with their families and create memories. Now you're probably sitting here wondering, how in the world does this not exist? And I'll tell you, I thought exactly the same thing. So we created Happily to enable parents to get unstuck. Parents with kids under 10 can now go to one place, and they know that it's trusted and they can find consistent information in their hometown or when they're traveling. And it's all available today on our website, iOS and Android apps. Happily is every parent's answer to, what should we do today? And truly, it's the question we ask ourselves at Happily every day. We think about how can we serve parents and what can we share that will be nourishing not only for their children, but for themselves as well. So as we scale, we'll leverage a unique technology API and algorithm to ensure Happily can add value in our launch cities as well as across the United States. Today we have 30 cities live, and with more coming every single month. And we're thrilled that by mid-October, we're going to have content for our users in 19,485 cities. So, where are we now? Happily launched in December of 2019. Within 3 months, we had 20,000 unique visitors a month. As you can imagine, there were some impacts from COVID, but we learned a ton. And what we really learned most deeply is that we struck a chord with parents. They felt the pain, and we're excited to help them. So leveraging our initial traction, we expect user numbers to be at 40,000 by December and 100,000 in 2021. So think about what All Trails did for finding great hikes or Stitch Fix for buying clothes. We're taking an antiquated industry and we're revolutionizing how families plan and share quality time together. Happily is a premium business model. We earn money through advertising and wellness subscriptions. Access to Happily for the majority of our users is free, and it's supported by advertising revenue. We have built and continue to build a community that is of great interest to premium brands for focused advertising partnerships. Our users, their parents, they're generally between 28 and 45, and they live in and around major cities. So advertisers are spending $15 billion a year to reach these parents, and we're already in conversations with a couple of brands that we love, and they're enthusiastic about partnering. We're really excited to share that we signed our first sponsor just a few days ago. So welcome to the team, Kiddo Bunk. The corporate wellness market is $54 billion annually. So in concert with our advertising revenue opportunity, corporate wellness dollars will be a really important element of our growth and impact strategy. As you might be aware, companies receive wellness dollars from their insurance brokers, and it's all around how do you create a healthier workforce so that you can cut cost of insurance premiums. So we're in early discussions with companies like Capital One, Nike, and Northwestern Mutual, and they're really enthusiastic about a solution that helps foster healthier and happier families now. And you can imagine with COVID, more than ever, they're listening. So conservatively speaking, we expect that in just 3 years, with 400,000 users, that will be at $9.8 million in revenue. Half of that will come from corporate wellness. And then, as you can expect, the sky is the limit. If we increase marketing and content development spend, we certainly can grow faster. Our team. So this is one of my favorite topics. Every member of our team has generously jumped in with just full hearts, and I couldn't be more grateful for each of them and what they're doing to have an impact on the community. They're parents and business leaders themselves, so they understand this challenge for families, and they want to be part of the change. So today, we have 30 ambassadors, and they are across the country. They're moms, they're dads, they're caretakers, and they create an amazing quality content. I would call it Nordstrom level quality of content. They are our heroes. They're the parents on the front lines, and they are the heart and soul of the Happily community. Oops, I got a little excited there. Our developers are working right now on a patent-pending technology that will also allow us to scale quickly. We have a hands-on team. So this group over here is our team. Half of them are full-time and half are part-time, and they're incredible. They've got experiences from Bloomingdale's, Oracle, McKinsey, EY, Korn Ferry. And our team's work has been published so far in Motherly, Thrive Global, Dreamers and Doers, and many other notable publications. Our early investor group is an incredible group of people that I feel really blessed to call friends. They have experiences ranging from being successful entrepreneurs themselves, to being in operating roles in technology companies, to e-commerce in the outdoor space. And we're really fortunate to be part of Silicon Couloir teams, which is specifically helpful for us given that we want to build a company locally and create jobs here. All right. We built a concept that takes the best of qualities of the parent resources and puts them in one easy-to-use, reliable, and trusted platform. So, how are you going to spend your precious 10 hours a week with your kids? I hope you'll explore Happily for yourself. And if helping families connect and create memories resonates with you, I would love to meet you. Thank you.
So a couple of questions here. So one is, how diverse this content has to be depending where the family is and whether that's a bit of a barrier for growth. And so I'll let you answer that question first.
Okay, so in terms of content, we are not going to be for everybody. So if you have a family that wants to go to Chuck E. Cheese, we're not the right place. We are the company that really is focused on outdoor active lifestyle. So I would say 80% of our content is hikes, it's playgrounds, it's stroller runs, it's ways to get your family moving. And then 20% of it is really awesome play spaces where you've got like the Swedish toys and the cool things like that. Like where a parent is gonna go and also leave these experiences or a museum, and they're gonna feel amazing about it. So for us, we have a system in place. We know how to launch a city in less than 2 weeks. And we're lucky to have a team that's willing to put in the work to do that. But we believe that it's very easily scalable in that way.
How are you reaching your potential sponsors? Do you have a network, hopefully of personal contacts, or is much of that cold calling?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. So our first sponsor is someone who's just joined our board, which is amazing. And they're in the wellness or the outdoor space. So we're fortunate that they're willing to be helpful in their role to help make some introductions. We have, so that's kind of where that's coming from. And then certainly we'll be cold calling and building relationships as well. On the corporate wellness side, those relationships are really from my past life. So I spent 15 years working in executive search in the technology space. And so we've been really blessed that those people that I had relationships with for 15 years are excited about what we're doing. And hopefully they'll be the first ones to sign up from a wellness product solution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Caitlin, as a father of 4, great concept.
Thank you.
I think it's very cool.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success. So can you speak to this patent pending algorithm and what that really means and what's the real value proposition of it?
Yeah, so for us, it's funny. So if it rains, right, and you go, what should I do with my kids? Like, you still get the playground, or there's a thunderstorm or whatever it is. And if you don't live in Jackson, you're probably not dressing your kid like in full rain gear to go to the playground. So our technology really thinks about those things. So what is the weather? What types of activities does this person like? What types of activities does somebody like them like? And it pulls into, we've got about 10 factors that weight how somebody would get their recommendations. Our subscription is where the recommendations get a little bit more interesting, and people do fill out a short survey that also plays into the algorithm. But we've been working on it for about a year, and we're excited because it'll go live in the next 2 weeks.
And your content sources is this kind of ambassador network that's going to evolve and grow? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. In the beginning, I mean, it's friends, it's family, it's friends of friends, and it's other parents who get why it's so important to share information so that we can help each other. And they all have a longer term vision, but our writers are paid, and we are constantly recruiting. So now that we've kind of, our core community has been built through Friends and Family Network. I mean, I go to Instagram and Facebook, and anywhere I go where somebody will talk to me, I'm recruiting to find great ambassadors.
How do you launch a city? So like, let's say Jackson, for instance, like what does it take from a non-technology standpoint in order to have this as an offering that I could use tomorrow for my 3 kids?
Yeah, so for us, launching a city means we have 30 articles. So for you, if you go on vacation somewhere, 30 articles is probably gonna cover it. But if you live there, like a city like Washington, D.C., we need 400 articles because we have a subscription there. So we have different types of cities. So to launch a city, it means 30 articles. We're looking at playgrounds, we're looking at hikes, we're looking at like what is the best museum that your child should go to, what's an authentic experience that like a local would have.
Yeah.
So in an ideal world, we would find somebody that lives there. And if we can't find a writer that lives there, we find somebody to talk to give us insider's notice, and then our team will go and be boots on the ground for a week and go to all the places and write about them.
Wow.
because we feel like there needs to be consistency in the information. So like for me, like I would go to a mommy blog and I had no idea if the person writing it had the same expectation for what good looked like. And I found it kind of frustrating. Like you'd go to a restaurant and they'd be like, oh, this is good. And you're like, this is disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and, or, you know, you want to, like, if you have limited time with your kids, we want to make sure that there's like this stamp of approval of, okay, I know that Happily sent me here. It's going to be great.
Okay. And then second is with the 20,000 users, what are you doing in order to stay connected to those people? Are you building an email list? And if so, how many people are on it now?
Yeah.
But like how, beyond just hoping that they come back, are you actually building that database?
We are. So we do a weekly newsletter. I mean, I think we get mixed reviews on it. You know, I think people are, especially with COVID, a little bit overloaded with that. So that's one method. We have a few thousand people on it. We learned a few lessons around how to capture emails that is now working that maybe wasn't working 6 months ago, things like that. We are constantly reaching out to our community and asking for feedback. And as you probably know, Instagram is huge. And we're starting to build a bigger Instagram following just so that we're touching our audience more on a regular basis too. One thing that's worth noting is like, I think a lot of apps and websites, like you want people to engage with you a lot. Whereas with us, like I don't want people on our website all the time. I want them to come, I want them to be able to quickly find what they want, and then I want them to go have an awesome experience with their kids.
Okay, thank you.
Caitlin, what's the split in your revenue assumptions between subscriptions and ad revenue?
So it's so in the beginning, it'll be more heavily weighted on subscription revenue. And so it takes us till about a year and a half before ad revenue becomes anywhere near significant. So while we have some premium sponsors that are making a bet on us today because they believe that we align with their values, it'll take us a while to get to a point where that revenue is significant. So it's all driven by users.
Good job, Caitlin. Could you identify one or two critical success factors that must go right in order for your business to succeed?
For us, it's organic marketing. At the end of the day, we want to connect with parents. We want to hear what works with them for them. We want to make sure that it's something they can use and find really useful. And so whenever people ask me how they can help, I'm like, give us real feedback, because that's an incredible gift, because we want it to be awesome for parents and for families. So that for us is just finding people that are willing to be honest and share what they like and what they don't like. And then we'll raise a Series A round in January. And so that'll be an important next milestone for us.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you so much. Clearly your passion.
Thank you.
And now what we'd also like to do is just share with you some of the incredible people that have given a tremendous amount of volunteer hours. So one thing we'd like to do is recognize that Pitch Day just doesn't happen on its own. There's so many people within our ecosystem that are both mentors and talent here. So again, I just want to acknowledge that there's a selection committee. We have a big pipeline of entrepreneurs before we get to this finalists. And then we have coaches who work with these panelists and finalists to really get down to the basics and to help answer some of these harder questions we're getting. So thank you to all of these people. I really appreciate the many volunteer hours they've given to us. And now we have our final finalist. So excited to have you meet the head of Morea, and this is Monica Groney. Thank you.
$83.5 million women will menstruate in the US. 90% of these women will experience PMS symptoms every single month. 33% of them will miss 1 week of school or work annually due to their period pain. That's 27.5 million women missing school or work due to their periods. Think about the productivity impact, the opportunity lost for these young women. I am one of those women. For 17 years of my life, I experienced debilitating PMS. PMS so bad that it affected my relationships, work, and school. At the age of 11, I went to my doctor with acne, bloat, cramps, and heavy periods. That doctor prescribed me hormonal birth control at the age of 11. I'm not alone in this. 58% of women currently on hormonal birth control are on it for non-contraceptive reasons. These are reasons like PMS. 15 years after being on birth control, I went back to the doctor, depressed. So depressed, I thought I was bipolar. Again, I'm not alone in this. I was prescribed antidepressants. 66% of women say that they feel they've been wrongly prescribed antidepressants for hormone-related symptoms. These prescription drugs have serious side effects. Increased risk of cancer, further depression, higher risk of suicide, low libido, hair loss, weight gain, there's many. Women will spend $13,000 or more trying to help their PMS symptoms in their lifetime. My name is Monica Groney, and I'm a menstruator. I'm a direct-to-consumer growth marketer, and I am the founder of Mareia. At Mareia, we've developed the PMS Elixir. The PMS Elixir is a drinkable multivitamin made for menstruators to help ease their PMS symptoms. So let's talk about how PMS occurs. Throughout the menstrual cycle, there's a rise and fall of estrogen. PMS comes when there's an imbalance of this estrogen to progesterone. Commonly, it's due to the excess estrogen. Things like hormonal birth control and environmental toxins, which we know are plentiful, like plastics and pesticides, are causing this imbalance. Estrogen is normalized in the body through our body's natural ability to detox. Nutrients have been proven to help this process and reduce PMS. So we've developed key nutrients, 15 of them, into a simple, drinkable format specifically for menstruators. In our pre-launch beta test, 80% of women taking the formulation saw symptom improvement within 3 months. Our current customers are raving about our product, and so is the press. We've been seen in Forbes, Create and Cultivate, and Shape magazine. As an experienced direct-to-consumer growth marketer, I know that it takes more than an amazing product to reach our consumers. We're building a community. We're building a brand based on education, the education that I was missing. By operating as a direct-to-consumer business, we're able to own our customer data and quickly iterate on their feedback, as well as build future product development based off of our existing community's wants, needs, and desires. You can see some responses here from our existing customers. They're finding relief with our product. As a subscription service, which we are, our customers will receive their supplements every 30 days with the ability to skip, cancel, or change their shipment at any time. We've positioned our product at the higher end, focusing on the 2.4 million women in the US making over $100,000 annually. If we obtain just 0.5% of the market share at an 84% retention rate, we expect to see $7.5 million in annual revenue with just one product offering. The direct-to-consumer model supports this through healthy margins and our direct contact with our customer. These nutrients changed my life, and they're changing other women's lives as well. Previous to us developing this simple drinkable format, I was taking 5 to 7 pills a day. That regimen is not sustainable. For our modern lifestyles as women, we're juggling work, our family, and our own self-care. That's why we developed our formulation into a simple, easy, drinkable format. No more pill organizers and no more upset stomachs. This makes us the only complete all-in-one multivitamin for hormone balance on the market. As I mentioned, my background is in direct-to-consumer e-commerce growth marketing. I've acted as the director of marketing for the last 2+ years, helping a startup go from $500,000 in revenue, and we're on track to hit $3 million in 2020. I thrive in the scrappy startup space. I've done it before. I'm supported by an amazing team of advisors, a registered dietitian, a nutritionist, as well as a very experienced PR and partnerships manager who's worked with direct-to-consumer mega brands like Care of and Casper. We also work with countless contractors, a third-party logistics company, and of course, our contract manufacturer. I'm very enthusiastic about our traction to date. In Q4 of 2019, we received a $50,000 Kickstart Wyoming grant, which has acted as our initial funding. We launched in June of this year, just a few months ago. We currently have 60 subscribers and are doing $4,100 in monthly recurring revenue at an 84% retention rate. We continue to work diligently to acquire new customers and retain our existing customers. We welcome you to join us in bringing support to menstruators everywhere. Thank you. This is the product too, if we want to see it.
So could we start with some science first?
Yeah, definitely.
How did you pick up this 15 ingredients? Did you conduct any extensive research? You did mention you have some data with certain number of women. I don't know how many. Can you talk a little bit about, first of all, the selection of the ingredients, and then any data you have? And by the way, I like the fact that it is a drinkable product. I think that makes a big difference.
Awesome, thank you. Yes, so the science behind our product, there is quite a few existing studies that have been done against certain nutrients and how they interact with our endocrine system and with our body's natural ability to detox, creating a reduction in these symptoms. And so OBGYN, dietitian, and nutritionist, we all kind of came together and were able to bring these studies together and develop the product based off of that. Our percentage of women who have seen results, we did a 50-person beta test with the formulation and tracked their symptoms over 3 months, and 80% of them saw a decrease in symptoms in that time period.
Your contract manufacturer, is it a larger, are they also having a distribution arm, or is it contract manufacturing separate from distribution?
They are separate. Our contract manufacturer is in Dallas, and so they work with our suppliers, bring in all of the product and actually blend and package into our final packaging. And then that gets shipped to our 3PL, or third-party logistics company, that handles the actual distribution through our sales.
Okay, and just one more quick question. What's the cost of one drink?
Sure, our cost or the customer cost?
Consumer.
It is $68.95 a month. Sure.
Monica, to follow up on that, what have you done in terms of testing willingness to pay? It does seem $69 a month is a good amount of money to spend on vitamins every month. So what have you done in terms of testing that with your target market?
Yeah, so we looked at some other supplements in the arena that we thought our target consumer would potentially resonate with. Products at Goop, Athletic Greens. They're both selling their monthly supplements for around $90 a month. And if you bought, like I was, all these nutrients separately at your local grocery store or Whole Foods, it would cost about $120 a month, so there's actual considerable savings. And with the relief that women are actually receiving from this, we're finding that they are willing to pay.
And what's your key strategy for reaching your target market from a marketing standpoint?
So right now, our best avenue for acquiring customers is actually search. So we've put a large emphasis on SEO for organic search. So that's building our library of educational content on our website that answers these questions women are going to Google for. Additionally, we are doing paid search marketing as well. Other channels include, we have a practitioner program and a practitioner affiliate program, and so that's actually working with coaches, hormone coaches, nutritional coaches, to make them aware of our product, share it with their customer base. We have a pretty robust social influencer program, and we're not focusing a ton on paid social because the cost is getting quite high. CPMs are definitely increasing, so we're really focusing on those owned and earned media channels.
Thank you.
With the paid search, what's your cost per acquisition right now?
It's about $22.
$22 on a product that you're getting $70 a month in revenue.
Mm-hmm. So that, oh, go ahead.
No, and you have an 84% retention.
Yes.
It seems that you should be really maximizing that.
Definitely. Yeah, we want to make sure that we are diversifying because we are seeing an increased cost in paid marketing right now, just because of COVID and everyone moving to digital. You know, the inventory of actual eyeballs is getting kind of oversaturated, so CPMs are rising. And we want to make sure that we have a really diversified marketing plan in terms of not just really relying on one single channel.
Yeah, but if you have a 70% margin, and in 1 month you're already making money, it would seem that you would just be spending as fast as you can because the cash flow will pay for itself. So why is the growth not faster?
We're retaining enough money to make sure that we can purchase our next inventory round. You know, $50,000 will get you to this point, but it'll only get you so far. So we're kind of conservatively bootstrapping to make sure we can purchase our next round of inventory.
And so no other money's been raised besides the Kickstarter?
Correct.
Okay, great.
Monica, so question, have you considered more traditional distribution? So through kind of brick and mortar and
B2B?
You know, through wholesale and retail, brick and mortar?
Definitely. We did make sure that we were priced in a way that we could do wholesale. And we really, early on, we want to have that direct relationship with our customer. We've already been approached by Goop, which is exciting, but something that we're looking at as taking slow. You know, terms and purchase orders can be quite daunting on your cash flow. And so we do see strategic partnerships that'll help us reach our end audience as being valuable to us. But we're going to take it one at a time. Any other questions?
More questions?
I guess one more.
Sure.
Since we always think about exit, how you're going to sell this company down the road, do you have some sort of stats that you're working towards in terms of how much revenue you might need to reach before a larger company might be interested in, you know, buying you out?
The only person that I've talked to so far is like a big conglomerate, like a P&G, and they kind of look at that like 50 million revenue area. So that's the knowledge that I have of that to date.
Now, how often does it happen in the dietary supplement industry that, you know, you start being successful and then somebody just looks at your label and reproduces the product more cheaply, larger amounts, people who already have distribution channels? Are you concerned about that?
I think that's always a risk. We're really leaning on our brand and the education that we're providing to these women. I don't believe that anyone else will be able to copy that aspect of it. And so it's not just the product, but it's the additional support that we're providing to our customers. Our kind of advisors helping along with that, nutritionists and registered dietitians. And so, you know, having a really strong brand and making sure we're well connected with our consumer and providing added value along the way is going to really make us not replicable.
You are collecting a lot of data as you go, right?
Yes, of course.
So you're hopefully thinking how to monetize that as well. You don't have to answer that. But
So many good questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monica. Terrific. So pleased. My goodness, thank you, panelists, and thank you, finalists. So now, what are these finalists and participants vying for? I wanted to share with you the panelist choice, as they're all now going to go congregate and look at their scores together. The Panelist Choice Award is going to be for $10,000 in cash, which can really help boost these entrepreneurs. As far as the audience choice, you're going to get a chance yourself to vote by your phone, and that will be a $5,000 cash award, as well as they'll have a year in the co-work space, which is here in Jackson Hole, which would be terrific. And then finally, the Bob Arndt Community Caretaker Award, that's $2,500 in cash. And they'll have, 6 months of free use of the co-work space, and nicely an invitation to work with our team's mentoring program. So, a lot going on for the...
And the time? So the time has come. It's time to vote, for the audience to vote. So we want to get a slide up on the screen if we can for how you do that. You're going to text in your vote, and we want everybody to do that. I'm going to read through it real quickly to make sure everybody out there in virtual world knows how to vote and who they want to vote for. So if you want to vote for Indio, text in to 27126 at the top of the screen, 27126, and text in vote PD space and then the number 1. So vote PD space and the number 1. If you want Go Green Home Supply, vote PD space and the number 2. If you want Juliet, vote PD space the number 3. If you want to vote for Happily, vote PD space number 4. And of course, if you do want to vote for Maria, vote PD space number 5. Audience, this is your chance to have a voice in this process and to really help one of these ventures and entrepreneurs win a prize that they might not ordinarily get from the judges or elsewhere. So please make sure you do vote. And while the judges are actually out in the room making a decision as to what they want to do, we do want to show one more video that we call our competitor spotlight video. I want to make sure I get that right, so I'm looking at that. And it's just a fun look at what they've gone through, what our competitors have gone through during this finalist process, because it has been a lot of work and a lot of burden on them. But let's tee up that video and see what it looks like.
I'm Nikki Beck. I am the founder and creative director of Indio. Definitely not here to make friends, definitely here to win it.
My name is Heather Smith, and I'm the CEO and founder of Juliet. And one of my best friends is actually in this competition, Nikki Beck. But I don't know if we'll be like best friends after this due to all of the competitive rivalry. So we'll see what happens.
But in all seriousness, I'm really here to have fun and enjoy the community of Jackson and Shark Tank, Teton style. It's gotta be better than the real Shark Tank.
I mean, I think the competition's been really fun because some of my favorite people are involved in pitch day, and so there's a lot of banter and friendliness that goes along with, competing, and all of us really want to win, and at the same time we want to see each other succeed.
I just finished up with my 3rd coaching session. It went great. I'm feeling good. Pitch day is in 2 weeks, which we can do this.
I think every version of the pitch gets a little bit better and stronger, and I mentioned earlier today that just finding some confidence in the words feels really good. I have a lot of experience in organizational development, but business is entirely new, but also so exciting because there are so many creative elements that it's just been a lot of fun.
So it's kind of like the Super Bowl, right? Where you start to place your bets on who's going to make it and who's going to get the big scoring touchdown. I think Heather is. She has a secret weapon 5-year-old, and I really think Sailor's the one running the company. Don't tell Heather, though.
You know, I am so excited to share the stage with so many talented women, and, you know, beating them will be even more sweeter at the end of this. I don't know if that makes sense.
Done! Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was fun. That's easy.
These are fun videos. This is my first time seeing it myself. The other thing we really think is such a favorite is while they're tallying up the votes, we want to share with you what has happened to some of the past finalists with Pitch Day. So we have both Tana Hoffman of Mountainist and Jack Hartpence of Powwater to show you.
Hi, I'm Tana Hoffman, and I'm the CEO and founder of Mountainist.com, an online destination for women where they can find the gear, educational content, and community support so that they can get off the sidelines and into the mountains. We were founded in 2018, and I was a 2019 Pitch Day participant. The first time that I applied for Pitch Day, my idea was really well drawn out in a PowerPoint, but it didn't really have a great business model behind it. Honestly, I'm really glad that I didn't get in that year because it really helped me to focus the next year on really fleshing out a plan that was true to the vision that I had originally. Pitch Day is just this incredible opportunity for entrepreneurs to really boil down why they're doing what they're doing. Yes, it's about the coaching, which was invaluable, and it's about the networking, which I met a lot of people from participating in that program. But it was really an opportunity for me to get out of my own head and learn how to speak about it in a way that helped other people feel as excited as I do. Starting a company, it's not an easy journey. You really don't have to go it alone. Silicon Couloir has been very much a part of my journey and very much very impactful in terms of where my journey has taken me.
My name is Jack Hartpence. I'm the co-founder of Powwater. Powwater won Silicon Couloir Pitch Day last year, and we work really closely with the Teams program. Powwater is a social business with a focus to empower communities through access to clean water globally. We work in Kenya, Nigeria, Ethiopia, and Bangladesh. Pitch Day for us came in at the perfect time. We're really looking to refine our marketing, refine our pitch, and it gave us great exposure and great mentors to bounce ideas off of. I really feel like it catapulted us to have conversations and to meet new people in ways that we wouldn't have been able to without winning Silicon Couloir Pitch Day. So what I would say to entrepreneurs who are on the fence about doing Pitch Day this year is just go for it. You know, there's never a perfect time to start a business. You're always going to have roadblocks. You're always going to have hurdles that you have to get through. And the quicker you can get in the arena, the quicker you can begin to move and take little steps that then turn into bigger steps, and then you can achieve growth. So there's never a better time to listen to your heart than the present moment.
All right, so we're going to just one more time give the audience another 60 seconds to vote. So again, you can look at the screen, you can see who you want to vote for. Indio is Vote PD number 1 with a space. Go Green is Vote PD number 2. Juliet, Vote PD number 3. Happily, Vote PD number 4. And Maria, Vote PD number 5. Folks in the audience, virtually, thank you. We're almost there. The winners will be announced in about 30 seconds. Thanks. All right, folks. Well, the time has come. So without waiting any longer, first of all, thank you, panelists, for all your great questions and all your hard work and being on the spot and coming up with ideas and thoughts for them and asking questions. We really appreciate it. You voted, and our understanding is that the grand prize panelist choice winner is Monica Groney and Maria. So Monica, come on out. I think she's in a side room somewhere, and here she comes. Congratulations, Monica.
Thank you.
You did a great job. I know. Fist bump. Can we do that? We really appreciate it. You did an awesome job. Everyone did, but I think the panelists felt that you were the one. So well done.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Let's move on to the Audience Choice Award.
All right. Well, this is exciting. I am happy to tell you that we had over 400 people that voted just now. A lot of people, more than we expected. And so what I am pleased to present is the Audience Choice Award, which is going to Caitlin Eisler of Happily. Come on out, Caitlin. They're all surprised in the back. No one knew. Come on out. Yeah, with my great pleasure, $5,000 is now yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
And now I'm pleased to introduce someone who you haven't seen tonight. Come on out, Liza. This is my dear friend, Liza Millett. She is the co-founder of Silicon Couloir. She's also a board member and one of the best connectors in Jackson you'll ever meet. So here you go, Liza.
Thank you. I'm here to announce the Bob Arndt Community Caretaker Award. Bob was a friend, a wonderful entrepreneur, a supporter of Silicon Couloir, and a community builder. And he helped build the natural food community here in Jackson with starting Jackson Whole Grocer. He was a really special person, and in honor of his commitment to community and with the support of his family, I'm proud to announce the Bob Arndt Community Caretaker Award that really focuses on the community, the Silicon Couloir community of the Silicon Couloir value of community caretaking. And this year, our winner is Heather Smith and Juliet. Congratulations, Heather. You're building a wonderful community.
So that's it, folks. We want to bring out our panelists one more time. Socially distanced, please, if you can. And we just want to thank everybody who tuned on in. They put in so much hard work. Hopefully they'll be successful in their ventures. Some of them are in our Team's Mentor program and will continue to work within the Silicon Couloir ecosystem. We have an angel investing group. They may come for money, all sorts of things. So really just one more hand from the panelists. We have a virtual audience, so we can't ask for their hand. But thank these folks for doing a great job. Thank you so much. And then one last thing that I want to say while they're up here is I just want to thank again all of our sponsors and trustees, but really our board, our staff members, Will Stabler and Rebecca Reimers and Michael Adams, who put so much hard work in to making this a successful event. And again, if you want to get in touch with any of these folks, you can contact them directly. This will be on our website by tomorrow as an ability to stream it, or get in touch with us at hello@siliconcouloir.com. We will facilitate a meeting of some sort. The whole idea was to get people interested in helping these folks out. So thank you so much. It's another Pitch Day wrap. Thanks to all of you for putting in all the hard work that you did, and we'll be moving forward. So thanks. We hope to see you all soon. Thank you. Great job, guys. Really well done.
Thank you. Okay. With our masks?